reliability means repeatedly whether you can measure the same thing. Once you are conducting an investigation, can you get the same result repeatedly? Okay, can you replicate it under similar circumstances, under similar condition? Then you can say it is reliable. Okay, valid means whether you are getting exact measurement. For example, in case of a scale, if you see, when you are talking about thermometer, it has to measure exactly what it is supposed to measure. Okay, for example, you might be preparing about division of labor, this theory. You have prepared very well about division of labor of Durkheim. But in the question, in the exam, what is asked is, the question what they're asking is like, Marx and Durkheim compare division of labor. But what you know is actually this. And this is reliable. Anytime you can write this. But what is asked is the comparison between Marx and Weber. So, in this context, for this particular question, your knowledge is not valid. Whatever you write that you know about Durkheim is not valid because you need the comparison. If you're not writing any one line which is asked, so validity means whether you are getting exactly what is supposed to be required. That is what validity. Okay, let me go through that before even discussing thinkers. Now itself I'll talk about that. Okay, reliability means reliability leads to repetition of same result. That is what you mean by reliability. Validity is actually the degree of meeting the desired goal. What you are supposed to investigate or what you are supposed to produce, are you getting exactly the same or not? That is what you mean by validity. Okay, so these are two major challenges that you can read. Reliability is the degree to which the measures are free from error. Free from error means it's like you should be able to produce the repeated result under the same circumstances. That is what you mean by free from error. So that they give same result when repeat measurements are made under constant condition. Okay, so that is what you mean by reliability. Reliability means it's all about replicability or repetition. When you're repeating the measurement, are you getting it the same? That's what reliability. Are you getting the same measurement under the same condition? Okay, so in other words, you can talk in the point of view of a scale. A scale may be said to be reliable, then it gives same measurement under similar condition. Okay, so in the similar condition, if a scale is giving the same measurement, it is reliable. Reliability is about consistency. Okay, so that is what reliability. Then validity means degree of achieving the intended result. What is supposed to be achieved, whether you are getting that or not, is what is validity. So reliability is not necessarily the fact. It is like, it is just about repeatedly are you able to produce the same result. But now let me ask you a question. Why this particular topic is there? The particular topic is given to you actually because of the question of sociology is science or not, right? Sociology is a science or not. In that context, in case of natural science, there has to be reliability and validity. You should be getting the same result each and every time in case of natural science because you are dealing with numbers and matter. But in case of sociology, is that possible? So there is a limitation for reliability. Replicable analysis may not be possible. Why? You are dealing with human beings. When you are dealing with human beings, the human emotions cannot be quantified. So obviously there will be definite problem with the reliability. But what you will do, a trained investigator can try to achieve reliability, but obviously there are obvious limitations. Okay, so validity means the degree of achieving the intended result. What you're supposed to measure, what you're supposed to get, are you getting the same? The result, then the result is valid. Or a result is valid if it measures what was supposed to measure. So a scale is said to be valid when it correctly measures what is expected to measure. In other words, validity refers to success of the scale in measuring what it meant to be measured. So thermometer. Okay, so reliability is achieved when there is a uniformity in measurement. So you can repeat the measurement, then you can say reliability. But not all the cases of reliability is valid, right? So if let's suppose a scale is not measuring properly. Okay, scale is not measuring properly means it is not valid, because it is not measuring what is supposed to measure. But if the same scale is used under same circumstances, it is giving repeatedly the same measurement, then I can say the scale is reliable but not valid. Okay, so validity, Okay, so but validity depends on the correctness of the measurement. So here, this is what a valid result is always reliable, but a reliable result may not be valid all the time. Now, from sociology point of view, social institutions change from time to time, and different sociologists have different ideological orientation. There is also a little scope of controlled experimentation, like in case of natural science. Like we cannot do the testing of reliability and validity in laboratory, right? So in most sociological investigation, validity is actually poor. Reliability also will be poor, but reliability to an extent you can ensure. So that is the case. So it's simply reliability means repeatability, replicability. Validity means to what extent you are getting exactly what you're supposed to get. So one simple example is what I've told you. You have studied about X, but in the exam the question is asked about Y or X dash. Okay, so if you are writing this what you have studied, it may be reliable, but it is not valid because you are not writing what is actually supposed to be written in the answer. So that is the main difference between reliability and validity. Now in sociology, what should be the conclusion? In sociology, this what we have discussed in case of science, what we have discussed in case of positivism, non-positivism, what we have discussed in case of quantitative and qualitative, that is the same conclusion that you need to write here in a modified form. The conclusion should be like this: sociology is dealing with human beings, and the sociologists are also human beings. So human beings, when you're studying, there are emotions which may not be able to repeat the same in the similar situation. At the same time, the investigators' ideological orientation may also differ. So all these will affect reliability and validity in sociology. But to an extent, this can be ensured with the proper training of the investigator. So this has to be your conclusion in this context. So I repeat it again. Reliability means it's all about repeatedly measuring the same thing, same measurements in the different times when you perform the investigation or when you perform the process of measurement under the similar circumstances. Okay, validity means whether are you measuring what is supposed to be measured, then it is valid. So
so we can say that reliability is for only quantitative methods and not for qualitative.
Yeah, in fact, all these are what all things we are discussing here are basically related to quantitative. All these topics are given to you in the first 3 chapters is because the initial concern that whether sociology is a science or not. So if it is a science, it has to satisfy reliability, validity and all this condition, right? So actually this topics and this debate is there because of the initial debate on the basic nature of sociology. That is whether sociology is a science or not. So basically you can say in science, reliability and validity is a must. There is no compromise. You cannot make any compromise in sociology or in natural sciences with respect to reliability and validity. But is it real? Now you have to think with your knowledge that we have accumulated over a period of time, that we understood that sociology is not dealing with matter like natural science. Sociology is dealing with human beings, right? So do you think that reliability can be ensured in sociology or validity can be ensured in sociology? Obviously there are limitations, right? Because first thing is that you are dealing with human being, and human being is studying a human being. So there is a problem in reliability and validity. But how can you solve it? You can solve it through proper training of the investigator. Like that, you can try to ensure the possible reliability.